The ASUS ROG Ally has just had a massive price cut, down $80 from $699.99 to $619.99. In this video, I'm going to tell you what I think, why they've lowered the price, and whether it's worth picking up an ROG Ally right now as we head into December during the Christmas season. Let's go. I'm Blaze2K. If you love handheld gaming, please smash a like, hit the subscribe, click the bell icon. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
Before we get into it though, go check out the link in the video description and the top pinned comment, guys, to go see my favorite list, or my top list of my favorite ROG Ally accessories. It's an Amazon list, everything has Prime. You'll find everything you need for the ASUS ROG Ally on here if you are deciding to pick one up or if you've already got one. Anyways, let's get into the news. So, as you can see here, Black Friday is around the corner, and it seems that Best Buy, or more so ASUS, have decided to cut the price by a whopping $80. Now, we never saw a price cut this fast with the Steam Deck or most Tech, the PS5, any console comparable. You have never seen an $80 price increase months after the thing got released. Is this a sign that the ASUS ROG Ally is in decline? That ASUS have maybe lost hope in it? No, I think it's because another certain handheld got released, and that handheld is, of course, the Lenovo Legion GO, which came to the market for $699, same price as the Ally used to cost, or $750 if you go for the 1TB model. Now, go, if you haven't already, watch my first impressions of the new Lenovo Legion GO, because I do actually have one, and I've tested it out, and I've got a lot of opinions on it. And if you want to stay tuned and know my opinions and see what I think and think whether it's worth buying one, go subscribe, click the bell icon right now, because I'm going to be posting opinions and first impressions in a couple of days. I have a lot to say about it. It's not all good, so stay tuned. Please click the bell icon, stay tuned for that. But yeah, I think they're doing that in response to the Lenovo Legion GO, because as you know, the Lenovo Legion GO packs a lot more than the ASUS ROG Ally. Now, as far as software is concerned, it's a completely different story. And to give you a little sneak peek of my entire video, or of my opinion of the Lenovo Legion GO, software is really half-baked, and that's one thing the ASUS ROG Ally has just absolutely nailed, is the software. Like the Armory crate, the updates, the graphics updates, the software updates, the ability to set, use the back, customize the back buttons to do different functions, like take screenshots and just do all sorts of things, the little quick access panels, how smooth it is, how seamless it is, and how seamless it pulls in your games from your library, even though you've not played them yet. Just, ASUS have just been on the money when it comes to the software updates, and that's one thing I can't fault them for. As for the reliability, we're going to cover that in this video. So one issue that I've had, or one thing that's been pretty prevalent with the ASUS ROG Ally that a lot of people have experienced, is hardware defects. Now, this isn't my first ROG Ally. I actually had one before this, and it had this weird issue with the right stick. In fact, it happened with both sticks. Is you'd move the stick in a circle, and as you're moving it in a circle, it would like catch on something. It would like pop out and catch on something, and the stick would like feel like it was popping out a little bit as you were moving it around. Now, mine was doing it at the top, bottom right corner and the top left corner. So as I was moving it around, especially in FPS games or racing games where you're dependent on the right stick to like turn and to shoot and aim, having the stick do weird things just was a no-go. And then it ended up happening on the left stick as well. So I said, screw this, I'm returning this, I want to get a replacement. And thankfully, I got the Goldilocks unit here, which has perfect sticks and perfect everything, frankly. And there was a few issues, sorry, not my wife's one. There's a few issues with other people's ROG Allies where the left button was like just being sticky, the left bumper, the top left bumper. Now, mine's had a slight issue with that, but I ended up getting better over time, so I'm thankful for that. But overall, apparently, according to Best Buy employees, these things were getting returned in spades. Like, if you went to your local Best Buy, you would have saw like a bunch of open box versions of these, because people were returning them for just loads and loads of different little hardware issues. And I've had issues in the past with ASUS. I got their ASUS G14 Zephyrus gaming laptop, and I had to return that literally, I'm not kidding, like 5 times, because the keyboard had issues, the trackpad had issues, it was having graphics glitches, the GPU was messed up. They've got really bad quality control at ASUS, but one thing they do really well that I've seen is the software, the RMA crate. And the Lenovo Legion GO software is just... I won't go into it too much. But let's get onto the hardware and the reasons why they probably reduced the price. So with the Lenovo Legion GO here, you know, you're obviously getting an 8.8 inch, 144 hertz display. And let me tell you guys, this display is the closest thing to an OLED that I've ever seen. It's not an OLED, but it feels like it. It's got a trackpad. The ASUS ROG Ally doesn't have a trackpad. It also allows you to use the right controller here as a freaking mouse and the left controller as WASD controls. It's got a kickstand built in. It's got two freaking USB-C ports, one on the top, one on the bottom, which is just fantastic because I can plug in peripherals. I can plug in my little gaming headset USB-C dongle into the bottom one and then charge it with the top one. But the ASUS ROG Ally, you've only really got one USB-C, which is a bummer. Second of all, also the Lenovo Legion GO's two USB-Cs are USB-C 4, meaning you can use an external graphics amplifier, your own one, if you can't, with your own graphics card. Whereas ASUS decided to just go with a bog standard, like proprietary, normal USB-C 3.1 port with their own proprietary graphics amplifier port here, which you'd have to spend like $1,500 on their proprietary graphics external GPU unit, which I think is just stupid. That's one of my biggest gripes, that it has one USB-C port and it's not even USB-C 4, and you have to, if you do want to, you know, turn it into a full desktop PC, you're gonna have to spend like $1,500, $2,000 on their own proprietary GPU thing for it. I didn't like that at all. But yeah, also Lenovo Legion GO has Hall sensor sticks. I won't get into the reasons why I've got an issue with them right now, because they've got a massive dead zone. I was trying to play Call of Duty on the Lenovo Legion GO, and it's got a massive freaking dead zone. But it's something apparently they're going to be fixing in the software, God knows when, hopefully by December. The ASUS also had that issue when it came out, but they fixed it pretty fast. Also, the thumbsticks are bigger on the ASUS. I noticed the thumbsticks are actually bigger, whereas the Lenovo Legion GO's sticks are closer, more akin to like the Nintendo Switch, maybe a little bit bigger. Which I'm not sure if it's going to make a massive difference when it comes to FPS games and gameplay. But that's one of my gripes about that, and also the D-pad kind of sucks. It's really shallow. But basically, Lenovo's came out with this bigger and better handheld gaming PC, and they were charging virtually the same price as ASUS. So I think ASUS really didn't have a choice here, not least their hardware issues that they were having with it. Everyone's sending their, returning their consoles back to Best Buy. Best Buy having like a massive stock. Apparently Best Buy were getting really sick of them for, dealing with like a failure rate at this level. So Best Buy aren't too pleased, and obviously ASUS have just been outdone by Lenovo in terms of hardware, right? Lenovo's just released an absolute beast here and put it on the market for virtually the same price as the ASUS ROG Ally, with like a lot more to offer with it, right? So I didn't think they had the choice, but let me know what you think. As for what I recommend, do I recommend the ASUS ROG Ally? Do I think you should buy one with a price decrease? It's a tough one. It really is a tough one. Let me say this. The ASUS ROG Ally has VRR, alright? The Lenovo Legion GO doesn't. And what that does is it basically smooths out gameplay. I won't go into technical details, although I could. It just basically makes gameplay a lot smoother when you're playing games that have fluctuating frame rates. Like if you're playing that game that's playing at 40 FPS, that's jumping between like 25 and 40, or jumping between like 30 in the 30s to 60s, on typical games, it's going to be stuttering. It's just not going to feel, you're going to feel every little bit of that, fluctuation. Whereas VRR just smooths all that out. And every game that I play on the ASUS ROG Ally just feels buttery smooth. Even if the frame rate isn't a full 60 or if it isn't a full 30, it still feels surprisingly buttery smooth. That's something they don't have on the Lenovo Legion GO. So as far as screen goes, screen performance, this has it. And it's also a native landscape screen, so that is another benefit. If you're playing older games, you're going to find a lot of issues on the Lenovo Legion GO because it's a portrait screen. It's basically a tablet screen that they've used software to flip to landscape, and that causes a lot of issues with older games. Whereas the ASUS ROG Ally, native landscape, so all your old games you play on this are going to be good. It doesn't have a trackpad, but I've found that's not really a big issue. I don't really like the trackpad on the Lenovo Legion GO, so that's not really a deal breaker. Actually, I want to use the sticks as the mouse on the Lenovo Legion Go, but you can't. It doesn't let you do that in software yet, but you can do that in the Ally. I still love the Ally, and if you have $620, I feel like that's a really reasonable price for this thing. Sorry, I could have got to my point sooner, but I do believe 620 is a damn good deal, and if you want to pick it up for that, you know, you won't be disappointed, providing that you get a good unit with no issues, right? So always check the sticks, check the bumpers, and if those are good, then chances are the device is going to be pretty good. And if it isn't good, then return it to Best Buy and get an exchange. So there we go. Price decrease, $620. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. I think it's a pretty good time to buy a ASUS ROG Ally, and if you've been waiting, this could be your chance to get it. As for whether you should get the Lenovo Legion GO, not yet. Not yet. Software is super undercooked. There's a lot lacking as far as software is concerned. It's a portrait display, not a landscape display, which causes issues with older games. The D-pad is super shallow in the Lenovo Legion GO. It's like, it's completely flush with the shell almost, and it's like, it's a traditional shaped D-pad, but it's massive. So combined with the fact that it's a massive D-pad and has barely any travel, it's just really not nice to use, frankly, and I'm pretty sure everyone would agree with me there. So if you just want something with nicer feeling controls, if you want something that has a smoother display in terms of frame rate fluctuations, VRR, if you want something and you don't mind only having USB-C, one USB-C port, and you don't mind not being able to use your external graphics amplifier, your own one, and you don't mind potentially upgrading to the you know, the ASUS proprietary one at some point, then the ASUS ROG Ally is a perfect buy, and I don't think you'll be too disappointed with it. I've loved this thing every time I've played it. I still love it. I still play it. I play it more than my Lenovo, surprisingly, but that's just me. And it's really pocketable. It's actually one of the more reasonably sized handhelds you can get at a reasonable price. So if you don't want a massive behemoth like the Lenovo Legion GO or the Steam Deck, you don't want to shell out like $2,000 for an iNeo, this is definitely a good option for you. And for $620, guys, I cannot complain. Anyways, I'm Laced2k. Sorry for the long rant. I love you and I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video. Please like, click subscribe, click the bell icon, and also check out our website where you can find all the best accessories. Not our website, but you know, our list of favorite ROG Ally accessories. Peace out.
Let's go.